Hey guys, it's Simmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. Now, you may not want to hear this. As far as tonight's Dynamite does go, I didn't think it was particularly that great of an episode. Honestly, I thought it was just all right. Like, at best, just all right. The main event was good. We had a couple okay segments here and there. But for the majority, I was bored through a particular good amount of this show. This show just did not do it for me tonight. I could be the outlier. I could be wrong on that one. But as I stated weeks ago, what the hell is this Jon Moxley stuff? I'm still stating what the hell is this Jon Moxley stuff. They tell us Jon Moxley is coming out live. We don't know what he's going to do. And then he gets jumped by Private Party and they beat Private Party up. I hate when AEW does this. I'm going to rant here for a second. AEW does this a lot, where they say, we'll hear from so-and-so, or we'll see so-and-so. And so we think, okay, they're going to do a segment where they're going to talk in the ring, this and that, and so forth. And then they never talk. Well, then, if we're supposed to think of this as it's real, and they say it's Jon Moxley, we'll say Jon Moxley. If Jon Moxley has an allotted amount of time because he wants to speak on the show and has something to say, and then doesn't say anything, they just beat up Private Party. Okay, and then we're supposed to be thinking, well, what was it that he wanted to say? What was it that he had to say? No, we're just going to see him beat up Private Party. What? Huh? Where was Pac? Unless I wasn't paying enough attention. I didn't see Pac out there with them. I just saw Marina, John, and Claudio. So, yeah. I don't know where this is going. I'm already kind of over it. And it's not doing it for me yet. Their whole, we're taking over. This is not your AEW anymore. It's been 5 years and the company sucks. First off, don't tell us your own company sucks. That's the dirt worst you can do. They would do that with MJF about a year and a half ago as well. Oh, AEW sucks. The only reason they're any good is because of me. Like, the only reason the ratings are any good is because of me. And blah, blah, blah. Like, no. I hate those kinds of storylines where they're basically telling us, don't watch our product. It's inferior to others. So, yeah. Not my cup of tea of a show. I would just say, not my cup of tea of a show tonight. Like I said, there were things I liked. But the main event was really good. But other than that, and like the Hangman promo that kind of... Jeff Jarrett, really? Why? Huh? Because they know whoever they put up against Hangman's going to be a babyface. They want Jeff Jarrett to be a babyface? I don't know. So much to talk about, so much to get into. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live, and that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, if you want to support us in another way, you can hit the join button and become a channel member. Even if you can only subscribe at $1, the $1 tier, we greatly appreciate it, whether that is here on YouTube or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Also, remember to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. Either donate a super chat on YouTube or Twitch bits over on Twitch. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting Final Fantasy 16 on PC. Maybe you're waiting and pre-ordering that EA Sports FC 25. Maybe you're getting Planet Coaster 2 when that comes out on November 6th. If so, use our code right here, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Games Store purchases. Also, right now, the free games, you might want to go check them out because they're only till tomorrow. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland and Rhythm Castle. Actually, super crazy Rhythm Castle. Tomorrow's the free games will be Toem, a photo adventure. Really fun game. If you want just a fun, relaxed, cozy game, go play Toem. Toem, a photo adventure. And then the last Aftermath is also a really good game as well. Go claim those tomorrow or go get Rugrats right now. Right now. Because it's a lot of great nostalgia. But as far as AEW Dynamite does go, the show itself did kick off with Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. Actually, we saw Moxley, Claudio, and Marina entering the building. Then Darby was shown skateboarding as well. And then we led to our first match. So all 6 of the conglomeration and the learning tree slugged it out to start. And I'm like, well, this is supposed to be a singles match, but whatever. Like, why we got all these other guys doing all their other stuff? And then finally, all of a sudden, it's just Jericho and Cassidy left in the ring, while the others just brawled on the outside. Hey, they doing too much. You're doing too much. Cassidy then took out the pile with the springboard twisting senton. Briscoe flew out with a dive, and Jericho teased the dive, but opted to wave to the crowd instead. Hi, guys. Everybody not involved then just brawled to the back. Again, doing too much. Just doing way too much. So this delayed the start. And eventually Orange Cassidy tried to go for an orange punch early. Jericho bailed to the outside and avoided another. Cassidy met him with a dive. Cassidy then hurdled the barricade and met Jericho with a leaping punch before a splash back inside for a 2. Jericho countered a Cassidy Hurricane Rana off the top rope into the walls of Jericho, but then Cassidy cradled out. Jericho seemingly blocked a tilt-a-whirl DDT into a power slam. Cassidy floated over into the corner, but Jericho sent him crashing to the floor. Jericho then took the cameraman and filmed himself, or the camera from the cameraman, and filmed himself putting the boots to Cassidy for heading back into the ring. There's a double axe handle from the top, but he was paintbrushed only to, but he only kind of like paintbrushed Orange, if you know what I mean. And it kind of just woke Cassidy up. Didn't do no damage, really just hurt Jericho. Cassidy missed a drop kick, though, allowing Jericho to hit the Lion Salt for a 2. Cassidy managed a Stun Dog Millionaire and a Michinoku Driver as Jericho was backdrop to the outside. Cassidy then went for another dive, but this time Jericho blocked it into a catapult into the railing. Both then fought on top of a loading case where Jericho hit a back suplex off through the timekeeper's table and things went to a break. As we came back, a slugfest ensued, and both men collapsed at the same time in the middle of the ring. There's a thrust kick that sent Jericho into the corner, and Cassidy ramped up his kicks, charged at Jericho, but was met with a Jericho clothesline. Cassidy then fought out of the corner and hit a diving crossbody, followed by a around-the-world DDT, but Jericho countered again into the walls of Jericho. As Cassidy got to the ropes, Jericho took the ref, and Big Bill flew in with a big boot, giving Jericho the advantage, and he went for a 2. O'Reilly then returned to fight him to the back, Big Bill that is, as Cassidy went for an inside cradle and only got a 2 off of it. Jericho then fired off a Death Valley driver, but Cassidy got the Desperation DDT and then another Around the World DDT before going up to the top rope for a third flying DDT this time. He got a 2 off of all that. Cassidy went for the Orange Punch, but ran into a code breaker for a close near fall. Cassidy then dodged the Judas Effect into a beach break, but this time Jericho kicked out. Brian Keith then ran down, but Mark Briscoe was there to fight him off. Jericho all of a sudden had a roll of quarters in his hands. I want to say is what it was. Roll change, some kind of roll of dimes or quarters or whatever. I don't know. And Cassidy knocked it free, grabbed it, and hit the Orange Punch and beat Jericho 1, 2, 3. Again, what did I say to start this match? Doing too much. Then, towards the end, still doing too much. Big Bill's got to come out, and O'Reilly runs him off. Brian Keith's got to come out, so Briscoe's got to run him off. You're doing too much. For me, this was way too overbooked. Like, it was crap. Like, I didn't say it was a bad match, but the booking of the match was crap. I always think that, like, I'll never say Jericho and Orange Cassidy is a bad match, because those two work great together. But for what this match was, it was way too overbooked, and they tried to be too cute with it, with all the interference and the conglomeration and the learning tree and all that. So, yeah, wasn't for me. It didn't click with me at all. Footage of the BCC backstage, I guess this was from last week, was shown with Pac asking where Wheeler Yuta has been since All Out. Next week, it's Grand Slam, and he and Claudio want to defend the Trios Championships. So, well, they're going to have a little open challenge. Claudio said that he's not mad, just disappointed. That he taught Wheeler better than this. Castagnoli told Yuta to do him this favor and show up next week to defend the titles. Moxley says he knows it's difficult, but Yuta has his own choice to make. Either stay or leave. Yuta has the responsibility to the greater good. Look at himself in the mirror every morning. What kind of man do you want to be? Then we cut to Wheeler Yuta, and this was kind of weird and awkward. Zox Marvez catches up with Wheeler Yuta, who was about to leave the arena. I'm like, what? Why are you leaving? You haven't done anything. Unless this was old footage, but I don't think it was old footage. So, yeah. Marvez stopped him and asked him his thoughts on Claudio and Pac defending next week and wanting him to be there. He says he's conflicted on recent events. He's conflicted on recent events, but he's worked his whole career to be a champion. Then he says something about like Wrestle Dream, and Marvez is like, next week's Grand Slam. And he tries to play it off like, I'm so confused, I don't know what week's what kind of deal. I don't know if that was a storyline or if Yuta really just messed up. Because then some random guy comes and goes, hey, you left this in the locker room? I thought you might want it. And he hands him his trios title. And I'm like, oh. He's like, man, my brain's just everywhere right now. I can't think and remember anything. So I'm like, okay, maybe the Wrestle Dream wrong show line was, I don't know. This was weird. Yuta said that his head's been all over the place. But if those guys want a favor, then next week, he'll kick whoever's ass is necessary. I have no idea what any of this was. The show isn't even 30 minutes in, or maybe right about 30 minutes in, and Yuta's already leaving? Huh? Why? Where you going, buddy? You get it, you didn't have a match tonight, or a segment tonight, but you're gonna leave early? Like, what? Yeah, I didn't care or like this at all. FTW champion Hook took on JD Inc. Never heard of this guy before. And it was a nothing happening match. Roderick Strong joined commentary with the Kingdom. Hook completely ignored Strong on his way to the ring. Hook then mowed down Inc. with a clothesline, overhead suplex, Tazplex, crossface strikes, and the Red Rum to pick up the victory. Strong asked Taz what Hook will do when he breaks his back next week. So it is going to be the FTW title on the line, even though this is the dumbest setup for a match. Hook defending against Roderick Strong, a man that he tapped out a couple of weeks ago. Now, I get it. Roderick Strong, foot was under the ropes. So it's like, okay, your foot was under the ropes. Technically, the ref should have stopped the hold, but you still tapped out. So if Hook can get you to tap that easily, what are we supposed to think about in the match? Hook gonna catch you and tap you? Like, no. Also, we do have a bit donation here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, Ricochet getting a title shot after a few matches in AEW, really. And also, Janelle Grant's attorney is doing a press conference before the Vince McMahon documentary airs. So does that mean everybody is worried now? No one will see the documentary soon. Even we know info about the lawsuit in the last episode. Okay, first off, you sentence structure, bud. As a person with dyslexia, sentence structure is huge for me to understand. So, like, I read that, and it was just a jumble of words. I think what you're asking is, Ricochet getting a title shot already. We learned later in the show, on the 5th anniversary show in 2 weeks, it'll be Ricochet defending or challenging for the International Championship already. What? And this is the worry that I said I had. They're going to push Ricochet to a title shot quickly. He's not going to win it, and then he's just going to become a Kyle O'Reilly, a Roddy Strong, a Sammy Guevara? I hope not. I hope he's just not a guy that you call on when you need a good match or someone that can lose. Then there's the other one about the Janelle Grant attorneys. So, we do know that tomorrow, apparently, Janelle Grant's attorneys will be holding a virtual press conference in New York City. Well, they said in New York. It didn't say New York City. I correct myself. We don't know what any of this means. No, this is not going to stop the Vince doc from coming out next week. It literally comes out in 1 week. But what I think, because she also just brought on a PR firm to help her case as well, I think that maybe they've learned some things about this doc that maybe don't make her look the best. Maybe make Vince look good. Why else would she need a PR team? And then his other thing about info in the last episode, actually, they're supposed to talk about the lawsuit and the Janelle Grant stuff in episode 1 and episode 6, from what I've heard. 1 and 6 will have stuff about the Janelle Grant allegations and the Janelle Grant lawsuit. But I don't think it's going to have any bearing on Netflix not putting the doc out next week. So as we move forward, Alex Marvez is backstage, and we find out that Private Party will be the ones to get the Trios tag title or Trios title shot next week. But I don't know if they're going to be in any kind of physical condition after tonight. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Renee Paquette's backstage. Renee Paquette is backstage with the Patriarchy. Christian Cage brings up his son, Nick Wayne. Says that he will have a 4-way match on Rampage against Rocky Romero, Lio Rush, and Kip Sabian. He said it's a big match. This Cage decided that he wants to hold double gold with Wayne after he cashes in his Casino Gauntlet contract. Cage mentions his Paquette's husband, John Moxley, might have something to say about Cage becoming the next AEW World Champion. Cage made Paquette refer to him as the next AEW World Champion. Christian Cage, before he storms off, sees Kip Sabian trying to approach and asks, "What do you want? What do you want? This is Nick?" Said he doesn't care that his father's dead, and if he keeps bothering Nick, he'll put him on the ground next to his father. Again, I don't understand any of this. What the fuck are they doing with this Kip Sabian stuff? He keeps stalking Nick Wayne and the Patriarchy and all them. Let me know in the live chat or the comments below if I missed something on Rampage or Collision, because I thought we already had the Nick Wayne Kip Sabian match. Didn't Nick Wayne win it? The AEW just does so much that they don't explain. Or you feel like, oh, that's wrapped up, that's done. And then it's still going. What? So, yeah. Esports Gaming Rule says, what the update on the WB AEW TV deal? If it is 3 years, then it is years for AEW to get their act up. And any word on the WBD NBA lawsuit. So as far as WBD AEW deal, everything we know, we've already discussed over the last day or so. We have 2 videos out with all the information known. So really don't have to go into more details on that. We just know that it might be a 3-year deal with a 4th year as an option year. And John O'Rant of Puck News, stated that it could be anywhere upwards of $170 million. That's all we know so far. As far as WBD and NBA, they filed a lawsuit, WBD that is. There's no way they win it. I'll give it a 98% chance WBD loses and they don't get the NBA anymore. So, just saying. Then we had a tag team match. This sucked. It was Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki against AEW Women's Champion Mariah May and Serena Deeb. Match ends in a DQ. This sucked. I believe it's the first time we've seen Sakazaki on Dynamite since July of 2021. And she started things off with Serena Deeb. They traded early takedowns. Dragon Screw was countered by Sakazaki as a series of near falls led to a stalemate. Rolling Snap Mare into a kick that led to a double team with Aminata, who fired off a snap drop kick. May then was preoccupied, posing for the camera with her belt, as Deeb trapped Aminata's leg and hit a dragon screw through the ropes. Like, what are you fucking doing? May then made the blind tag and hit a snap drop kick. knocking Sakazaki to the floor, mocking her, and we go to a break. And most of this match took place during the break. Sakazaki then made the hot tag when things returned, and she was a house of fire, dishing out Northern Lights bombs on Deeb while stacking May on top for another suplex. There's a stalling thrust kick to Deeb. They got a near fall. Everybody then traded to release German suplexes before Sakazaki hit a merry-go-round hammerlock slam on Deeb. Sakazaki then dove onto the pile outside as she hit the magical girl splash back inside. Made the cover, and then May blindsided her with the title just to cause a DQ. This sucked. The match itself wasn't particularly all that good. Most of it, I felt, took place during the break. And then she's just going to hit her with the title, cause a DQ. Cool. Yeah, again, particularly not a good match. Post-match, May continuously whipped Sakazaki with the belt, kissed her on the cheek, and then held the title high as she posed for the crowd. We then get a video package of Mina Shirakawa saying that she hasn't heard from May in months. Shirakawa said that May has changed, but she still misses her. They've had so many good times together. They can have more, as May has a place in her heart. Shirakawa tells AEW fans to get ready. Mina is coming. Okay. Cool. Again, what really... the thing here, I'm like, this would be interesting if they didn't do the thing where it's like, Mina Shirakawa, who are you picking to win at all in? Tony or May? And she goes, I don't know. I like them both. I can't choose. Bitch, you've known Mariah for how long? You've known Tony for a couple months. Yeah, no. Esports Gaming Rules, another bit donation, says, do you see Bryan Danielson show up at Grand Slam or wait until Wrestle Dream to face Darby or Mox and his Wrestle Dream doing the NJPW AEW crossover again for the Inoki tribute? So as far as we know, I don't think they're doing the Inoki tribute thing. At least they haven't said. The crossover thing, but it was never really a crossover per se. Like that's, I just went blank. Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is more the crossover kind of deal. But as far as Danielson does go, they're not, I don't think, and I know they keep saying that if he's cleared to compete, if he can make it, I don't think they're advertising and selling tickets for a Danielson-Nigel match and then not doing it. I'll give it a 99% chance Danielson shows up next week. And then as far as wait till Wrestle Dream to face Darby or Mox, I think Mox, no. That's a tough one. I think... Who wins, Darby or Mox? That's a very tough one. I'm going to predict, it's off the dome. I'm going to say, screw it. Mox beats Darby, and it's Bryan and Mox in Tacoma. Speaking of Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness, we're reminded that Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness will only happen if Danielson is cleared and shows up next week in Arthur Ashe Stadium. And there's some technical difficulties here. They kind of played the beginning of this video package twice. Then they showed a highlight video of Nigel McGuinness and Danielson from Ring of Honor with former ROH World Champion Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, Jay Lethal, and Jerry Lynn, all giving their thoughts on the two. Strong said that Nigel McGuinness has always been Nigel McGuinness' worst enemy. McGuinness himself says that he's the best wrestler in the world, not Bryan Danielson. Esports Gaming Rules with a bit donation says, if it is Mox, Shane McMahon shows up in AEW finally. I mean, that's the fan theory. It's never been reported that what they're doing is Mox and Shane. Now, I've been told by somebody close to the situation that that's most likely the plan. Someone that wouldn't most likely know, but that nothing is at this time super set in stone. So that's all I know. But yeah, the Shane thing, being with Mox and all that, that's more fan speculation than anything. Most likely going to happen, but we'll see. Let it play out. So we then see Jon Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Claudio Castagnoli making their way to the ring from the crowd when, well, they're attacked in the crowd by Private Party. And things didn't go well for Private Party. Shafir choked out Cassidy, while Castagnoli hit brutal choke breakers on Quinn. Moxley then sent Cassidy into the steps before Shafir put the boots to him. Moxley held Cassidy as Shafir fired off kicks. Commander then appeared in the ring and tried to dive, but was hit with a Castagnoli uppercut in midair. Shafir then slammed Alex Abrahantes, took the microphone from his hand, and Commander was then launched into the second row by Cassidy. Moxley then had a toolbox that he brought a hammer out of. Went over to Cassidy, saying that Private Party, you've been here since the start. And you deserve better. You should be better. He said that they've been in the same spot since the beginning 5 years ago with no room of improvement, no growth. And that's what's wrong with this company. Moxley's going to give them what they've been missing, some friction, an obstacle to overcome. Consider this a gift. Moxley then smashes Cassidy's hand with a hammer, and this got the "you sick fuck" chance. Yeah, I don't think it's Private Party and Commander next week for the trios titles, unless it's Private Party and Commander minus Cassidy and they get like a new third. I don't know. When they announced it was Private Party and Commander anyways, I'm like, why should we care about that? I get the backstory of Private Party and Commander were attacked by whatever you're going to call this, the BCC. So it's like, oh, they're going to get their revenge. But then why not make the actual challenge instead of being open challenge and then they're the ones to accept it? It should have been them. Honestly, what it should have been, not Claudio and Pac saying we want to defend our titles at Grand Slam, so we are issuing an open challenge. It should have been Private Party and Commander saying, hey, we want to challenge you because we also want revenge for you guys beating us up last week. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to put too much thought into this. So to beat up Private Party and Commander, when all of a sudden Darby comes out and Darby runs down the ramp almost as fast as he can and hits Claudio in the back with the skateboard, wheels and all, like, Bob, oh Lord, that had to have hurt. Moxley then grabbed him and threw him in the ring. They had a little bit of a stare down, but then Moxley didn't strike. Shafir held Castagnoli back on the outside as Allen swung the skateboard and Moxley bailed. Allen grabbed a mic and asked when Moxley will realize he's not the same guy he was 5 years ago. He's going to run through Moxley and go become the AEW champion in his home state of Washington at WrestleDream. Moxley laughed and, well, they all just left. Yeah. Again, what I'm saying about this show is it felt just like a lot of stuff thrown at us, no rhyme or reason for the most part. Just a lot of random sticky hand on the wall. We'll try that next. We'll try that next. Now we got a Jack Perry video. Basically, they just told us he drives around the country in a van and he's got the TNT title. It was nothing. Now, what was good? Ricochet versus the Beast Mordos. Actually, Mortis. No, Mordos. Fucking Taz. This whole match, we've got Excalibur and Shivani. Mortos. The Beast Mortos. The Beast Mortos. And then Taz. You know, Mortas. Mortas over here. No, Taz. It's not Mortas. It's Mordos. The Beast Mordos. Somebody straighten him up. Wisen him out. Whatever you want to call it. Straighten him out. Wise him up. It's not the Beast Mortas. And it's not even saying, oh, well, his accent. He just sounds like that because his accent. No, it's just Taz not knowing how to say his name. If you're commentary, you should know how to say every guy's name properly. Again, if your accent is making it so it sounds off, that's one thing. Like with Nigel sometimes. But, because like when he says Mariah May, it's Mariah May. Instead of Mariah May, he says Moroya. Because that's his accent. Moroya makes it sound like he's saying Mariah May. Because that's his accent. Mortas? That ain't Taz's accent. Mortas. Anyway, as far as this match does go, I like this match. This is really good. Fast start from Ricochet, who backed Mordos in the corner, only for Mordos to charge with an attack of his own. Ricochet dodged a few more shots as Mordos went to the outside, or actually he was sent to the outside, where Ricochet took flight with a dive. was a springboard lariat back inside, followed by a running shooting star press as Ricochet fired off some kicks, but both men traded some arm drags and Hurricane Ranas. Commentary was talking about how Mordos is a monster. He's strong, he's big, but he can do all them same lucha moves just like Ricochet. So Ricochet has to really watch out. Both then dodged some sweep attempts. They had a stalemate with the crowd cheering loudly. There's a thrust kick to send Mordos to the floor as Ricochet tried a somersault dive, but Mordos caught and planted Ricochet with an apron powerbomb, heading to a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Mordos was in control, and they stated Mordos got control during the break, but didn't really tell us how. Ricochet then started to mount a comeback with a tiger feint kick in the corner. Handspring was caught by Mordos, who then hit a massive pop-up Samoan drop for a 2. Ricochet then battled back with a rewind kick, but Mordos was there with a brutal headbutt. Mordos then tried a monkey flip, but Ricochet sent him to the floor. He tried the somersault dive spot again, but Mordos missed catching Ricochet, so he just hoisted him up for a powerbomb, only for Ricochet to turn it into a flat float over code red. A little bit of a botch here. A little bit of a botch. There's a springboard 450 back inside the ring that got a Ricochet a near fall. As Ricochet then went back to the top, he was cut off, and Mordos joined him up top, hitting an avalanche gorilla press for a 2. There's a tilt-a-whirl into a spinning backbreaker. Ricochet then countered that with a snap crucifix slam. He then hit the vertigo and picked up the victory. So yeah, Ricochet gets another win. And now he's en route, as we'll talk about here shortly, en route to facing Will Ospreay in 2 weeks for the International Championship. And they got a video package of Adam Hangman Page about what he's been doing and him taking out Swerve and wanting justice and this and that. Esports Gaming Rules says, are you going to watch the return of Saturday night's main event on NBC and Peacock? And do you think Jesse Ventura will return as guest commentary? So yes, I will watch it. We will do a review of the show because it's a big show. It's a big show for WWE on NBC and Peacock, of course. But Jesse Ventura. So Greg Gagne did state that he thinks Jesse Ventura is going to do commentary. I don't know if Jesse Ventura is going to do commentary. It'd be really cool. Something in my mind says they're going to use him like AEW uses Jim Ross, and maybe he commentates like the main event. But I don't think he's going to be out there the entire show. But that's not till December 14th, and yeah, we will watch it and we will be reviewing it. We don't know too many details, like how many matches they want to do, how long the show is going to be, because it can go there for 2 to 3 hours. We haven't gotten a start time, so if it starts at like 8 Eastern, maybe they go 8 to 11, 3 hours on NBC. That'd be interesting. You know, you go 8, 11 o'clock news, boom, there you go. And they won't have any NFL to go up against that week. There will be some college football, which is interesting too, because NBC usually does Saturday night college football. So I guess they're not doing college football that night on NBC. We'll see. That's still a ways away. Footage from Collision last week was shown. Grizzled Young Vets and FTR. The Outrunners then made the save. Weird as shit. And then, yeah, they showed a bunch of shit from Collision and then told us we're getting a 10-man tag. FTR, the Outrunners, and Hook will face Roderick Strong, Grizzled Young Vets, Roosh, and the Beast Mortis. Like, what kind of fucking just glumble jumble, let's throw a bunch of guys together match is this? Fucking dumb. The Hangman comes out to try and explain his actions of late. Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and both men on commentary are like, yeah, give props to Tony Schiavone. In the state the Hangman's in right now, I wouldn't want to be in the ring with him. The Hangman comes to the ring. Page is officially walking out the heel tunnel. We've seen him do both over the last month or so. Schiavone brings up Page mentioning last week that he would take out anyone who ever defended Swerve Strickland or had his back. Page says that he's watched and listened for a long while at this, and it's come to this moment where he can take out Swerve, and now Swerve is gone. Page knew it would just be Strickland. Wouldn't be just Strickland who would have to pay, but those who protected him as well. Those who cheered for Swerve after every AEW World Title defense, and while he was inside of a cage before facing his fate. While Page was home for 4 months suspended, he remembers a loud voice from commentary, talking, cheering on, being happy for Swerve Strickland. Schiavone then tried to go, well, you know, Jeff Jarrett. He goes, I don't give a fuck about Jeff Jarrett, basically. He's like, I don't care about Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett's not who I'm talking about. It's you, Schiavone. We then hear Jarrett's music. Jeff Jarrett storms down to the ring and Page pounces. He sends Jarrett back and forth over the barricade before going back into the ring, looking for a buckshot, but the referee and security are there to stop it all. Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh are also there to hold Jarrett back as Page stares him down from the stage. Jarrett then grabs a microphone and says that he'd be damned if he allowed Page to put his fingers on anybody like Tony Schiavone. He said, actually, there's an entire locker room that would beat the hell out of you if you did that. And they do right now want to beat the hell out of you. And I'm like, why? Why does the entire locker room want to beat the hell out of Page? All he's done is get it freaking Swerve. That's it. Like, what has he really done to piss off the entire locker room? I don't get it. Makes no goddamn sense. Jarrett then says, you know, everyone wants to beat you up, but I, the last outlaw, I'm at the front of the line. And he promises he'll kick Page's ass if it's the last thing he does in his career. So, yeah, weird. I don't know. Maybe gets backstage with Ricochet as they immediately are interrupted by Will Ospreay. He walks in and says that there's always heat between the two of them, but apologizes for last week. Ricochet accepts, but says that he's doing exactly what Ospreay asked. He said, go out and rack up wins, and that's what I've been doing. But something doesn't seem right here. You're the champion, yet everybody wants to fight me. Everybody's worried about me getting over instead of challenging you. Ricochet then said, so you know what? I want to fight you. I want a title shot. Next week, cool. You're dealing with the Young Bucks. You're going for the tag titles. I don't care about that. But in 2 weeks, October 2nd, 5th anniversary of Dynamite, got my match. It's me and you for the International Championship. He said that he wants Ospreay to come and bring him onto another level. Ricochet's level, which is out of this world. Ricochet said, I'll see you real soon, little bro. So it's like, I'm excited for the match. I really want to see this match, but not yet. Not yet. Like, Ricochet's only been here for a month. Not even a month. 3 weeks. And he's already getting a title shot in 2? Why? How? Huh? I don't know. Again, it's just fast tracking and throwing shit at the wall. Then we had our main event. It's a trios match. Pretty dang good trios matches. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Matthew, and Nicholas Jackson. Phil's Caliber last week said that Takeshita had the best G1 Climax debut ever. Well, that is since 2012, when Okada debuted in the G1 and went on to win it all his first year in. He said that Takeshita made it all the way to the what do they call them, semifinals, but couldn't make it to the actual finals. Fletcher and Nicholas started things off with Ospreay quickly tagging in for a double team wishbone and a PK before Nicholas bails out and tags Okada. Crowd started to get amped up because they thought we were getting Okada and Ospreay. As Takeshita then wanted the tag, but Ospreay turned him down. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, okay. It's a pump fake. The pump fake attack in the ropes from Okada, who then hit a shoulder tackle, but Ospreay kipped up and dusted it off. There's a snap hurricane runner from Ospreay, who backed Okada into his own corner, where Takeshita slapped him hard to tag himself in. No shit. Elite then attacked during the argument, and we get a little triple slingshot senton into a pose on the floor. The delay then led to a triple baseball slide and a slingshot crossbody. Takeshita then snarled at Ospreay as we went to a commercial break. And I'm like, oh, we're doing the teammates can't get along, but they're probably going to end up winning in the end kind of thing. And that's exactly what this was. Exactly what this was. Back from the break, Ospreay fought free of the Elite's corner as Fletcher made the hot tag and ran wild. There's a snapdragon to the Bucks as Fletcher hit running corner kicks and a brainbuster on Matthew for a 2. After a double down spot, Okada tagged in and cut off Takeshita from making the tag as Fletcher 8 uppercuts before answering with a Michinoku driver. Takeshita then shoved Ospreay's hand away so he could tag in and get his hands on Okada, who he took out with a Takeshita line and a deadlift brainbuster. There's a diving senton off the middle to get a 2 as Okada flipped out of a Blue Thunder bomb into a DDT as the Bucks took out Fletcher and Ospreay as well. Takeshita then fought off all three as some miscommunication here from the Elite led to Takeshita hitting sit-out fireman's carry on Okada. It's followed by a running sliding double drop kick for a 2, super kick party from the Bucks, but Takeshita no-sold and turned them inside out with double clothesline, only to turn it into a drop kick from Okada as everything kind of just reset here. Okada then baited Takeshita into the corner and hit an air raid crash neck breaker for a 2. We go to our final break of the night. Takeshita remained isolated in the corner on the return as the Bucks hit the risky business, followed by Okada's top rope elbow. A triple flip off to the crowd by the Elite as Okada politely folded the finger back down. The EVP trigger avoided by Takeshita as the Bucks were hit with double German suplexes before reluctantly tagging Ospreay. As a pip cheerio that took out Matthew as a handspring Pele kick wiped out both Bucks. There's a standing sky twister press that got a near fall, but Okada avoided an Os cutter into a super kick party. There was a hung over the top. As he was hung over the top, Nicholas hit a double stomp, which flung Ospreay into a sit-out powerbomb from Matthew. The Bucks then pumped up the shoes as Ospreay tried the wall walk, but was met with another super kick party from the EVPs for a 2. There was then an EVP trigger, but it was cut off by Fletcher, who sent Matthew in for an assisted sit-out spinebuster. Fletcher then made the official tag, wanted a tombstone, but Nicholas hit a rising knee strike. Instead, a slice spread was then countered into a sit-out double team cutter, but Okada was in with a flapjack and a drop kick on Takeshita. There was a Rainmaker countered into a Blue Thunder bomb as Takeshita hit a somersault dive to the outside. Back inside the ring, there's a slingshot facebuster from Nicholas, who then hit a moonsault on Takeshita before the Bucks wanted the TK driver. Fletcher then wiggled out and hit a twisting tombstone on Matthew for a 2. Nicholas then made the save. Fletcher then caught a super kick as Ospreay flew in with a hidden blade before Ospreay and Fletcher hit the, I'm going to butcher the name of this, I think they call it the Corollas, with Fletcher getting the pin and picking up the win. They then played, it said the United Empire on the screen. Callis applauded his men for winning with Ospreay, while Ospreay offered Takeshita a handshake. Kind of just played it off with Callis stepping between the two. So that is AEW Dynamite. Again, like I said, not the best of shows. Not all that great, if I'm going to be completely honest. Esports Gaming Rules with another bit donation says AEW equals too many stars, too much chaos, WWE, new era pure cinema. I wouldn't go that far to say WWE is pure cinema, because that ain't true, because there's things I don't like about WWE as well. There's things that WWE does that's kind of just like, why'd you do that? What? That's not good. Like, look at that Zoe Stark Natty match on Monday from Raw. It was just okay. Just okay. Let's get the Twitch poll here going. What did you think of Dynamite? I liked it. It was right. I didn't like it. Now, if I'm voting, I'm going to say it's just all right. Like, that's plain and simple. I thought this show was just all right. Refresh the other polls here. No Threads poll. Having issues with Threads right now. But as far as the Twitter X poll does go, 41% didn't like the show. 29% liked it, and 29% thought it was just all right. Dang. Haven't had that big of a didn't like it in a long time. Like, a long time. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, 66% liked the show, 19% didn't, and 15% thought it was just all right. This one, a couple comments here says, this is a tough one. Another one says, good question. First says, I felt a little bored during tonight's episode of Dynamite, but I liked it. See, I'm not the only one. This comment says, I liked it. And this person says, garbage. And then as far as the live poll does go, 64% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 14% didn't like it. And finally, as far as the Twitch poll does go, everybody that voted thought it was just all right. So yeah, not one of the more liked shows, it seems like, for AEW Dynamite. But with that, that is going to wrap everything up. I am going to be live here shortly. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Me and Mr. Bangs, Real Bangs, we're going to play some Fortnite. I was going to try and play Fortnite last night. I had some computer issues. Think I fixed it. We're going to jump into some Fortnite and have some fun there. We should be live playing that here in just a short while. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, I am going to be live here shortly playing some Fortnite. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Hang out with us over there. Have some fun, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.